Today is 770th day. I'm here to share lessons I learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about lies. Lies that could be very pleasant at the moment, but is very, very hurtful at the end. Lies that is pleasant and comfortable at the moment, and sometimes you don't know what to do else, but you're lying at the moment just to feel comfortable at the moment. But sometimes you understand that at the end will be something that some kind of consequences because of that. So today we'll share 10 lies that might be pleasant and comfortable at the moment, but at the end is very, very hurtful. So number one is maintaining image. Maintaining potentially social image. Could be social media and taking pictures that maybe going and doing the things that you're not able to afford and trying to impress people, a lot of times impressing people that you do not like. But you just don't want to be judged by other people. You don't want to be rejected by other people. And you buy things that you do not afford. You go to places that you maybe do not afford. Maybe there's multiple things that you potentially could do that really doesn't align fully who you are. So in a short period of time, it could feel pleasant to elevate your social image, to maintain that image. But at the end of the day, it will hurt internally because it will be internal turmoil, do the things that you do not want to do. Because being able to really say, no, I don't need to have that social media. I don't need to maintain kind of image. For what? For what reason? Like the most important image is self-image. What you're able to see in the mirror. That's the most important image. When you need to maintain that image, and that's the most important part. So social image will improve when you improve your image internally. So that means when you're able to really take care of your finances properly, without caring about how that social image will look like, and really make sure that you are in the right position, that will allow you to maintain your image in the long run, because people will respect your decisions that led to future better outcome. Number two is preserving ego. Preserving ego. That means that people will try to hide their mistakes because they want to preserve their ego. There's multiple things that people do not want to share because it seems that it will hurt their ego, they will hurt their image, it hurt them. But what it does, that stops the growth. Stops the growth, because if you are hiding your mistakes, if you're hiding the things, that means that you do not address them. It's very, very important to address any kind of mistakes, any kind of things, because that will allow to elevate your ego in the long run. Because of when you protect your ego in the short run, a lot of times that hurts your ego in the long run. Number three is false promises. False promises. And that is very, very terrible. That hurts you and hurts everyone else around. It could be that you promise and commit to things that you do not do. Maybe you're a manager and promise some kind of bonuses at the end, and you're not able to really keep those promises because it hurts trust, respect, and so many things are lost because those promises were not met. So people need to, and we need to be very, very careful what we promise, because every single time when you promise, that means that we're able to build trust and build respect, or we're able to take away respect, take away trust. We need to be very, very careful with really making promises. So when we want to say something, we need to really ask ourselves if this promise is 100%. And that's when we're able to commit. Number four is avoiding consequences. Avoiding consequences. That means to avoid consequences could be feeling pleasant at the moment, and you really avoid that consequence because it's hurtful. It could be a lot of times is a lot of things that a lot of emotions could go through, making sure that you're able to address the consequences immediately. And avoiding, that means that you're not solving something. Because when you avoid consequences, that avoid mistakes, avoid everything, everything is the same. So it means you're not able to solve things. And those things that you didn't solve, sooner or later will come back, and it might be they will come back even bigger than before. And it'll be harder to deal with it. So being able to not avoid, but really go after it right away, most likely will save a lot of energy and, of course, respect and everything between. Number five is relationship deception. That means that a lot of times when we have relationship issues, we are able to really ignore it, or be able to really make sure that we're able to, again, address right away. Because if we do not address things immediately, what will happen? That means that this issue will become bigger and bigger, because what happens is a lot of times when you do not address something in a relationship, that one thing in your mind could become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and from small thing it could become massive mountain. And why that happens? Why a small hill becomes a mountain? Because we didn't address immediately. So being able to address immediately really helps to avoid some kind of breakdown in conversation, breakdown in communication, breakdown in relationships altogether. Number 6 is manipulation. Manipulation is probably a lot of time known in sales. People are really trying to manipulate to sell something, to buy something, and people have that buying remorse, and people are returning the things. So manipulation is the tool that hurts you as a person, and it hurts someone else as well. So that means, and manipulation is in multiple places. It could even be in relationship, in business. Manipulation could feel good because for the moment, because you influence other person to do what you wanted to do. But sooner or later, people realize what was the reason of you influencing other person. And if that was manipulation, it will hurt your business, it will hurt your relationships, it will hurt everything in between. So short-term pleasure will lead to long-term disappointment. Number 7 is really avoiding mistakes and really not moving towards those mistakes. So that means that if you're really avoiding mistakes and really don't learn those takeaways from mistakes, you're not learning. So that means that every single time when you see mistake, you need to say that, okay, well, let's reflect on that mistake. What really happened here? Who was to blame? And I say that I need to take ownership of this mistake. I need to take responsibility of this mistake. Because whenever you take responsibility and ownership, what happens? You learn a lesson. Until you take ownership, you will never learn a lesson. Because you'll blame someone else. So blaming someone and making excuses, it's super easy at the moment. And it feels good making and blaming someone else. It feels good. It's much more uncomfortable to take ownership. But taking ownership is the ultimate way to really learn lesson and never do the same mistake again. Number 8 is health deception. This is one interesting thing. I think that I have fallen into that multiple times as well. But when something is happening with your health, you think that it's not that bad. It's not that bad, and then you avoid going to a doctor. You avoid to invest in your health right away, rather than really taking ownership and really going to a doctor immediately and really fixing that much faster. Because people stay not with medicine a little bit longer, and that prolongs healing because they thought it will go away. No, a lot of times what we need to do is take action and not delay treatment, because every single day of delayed treatment probably will prolong your treatment. Very, very important. Number 9 is fabricated stories. That means when people are going to meet new people and networking, people sometimes fabricate stories about their past, about their future. And of course, that could create an image. But if you're not able to live those images, and people will figure out that those fabricated stories are not true. And of course, what that will do, it will damage your brand. It will damage your really person, and people not see and will not respect you anymore. That means that we need to be very careful what we share, and of course we not exaggerate things, because I have seen so many people who, like, people I really admire, but still when they say something about the things they achieved or the things that they do, I know that when they say things, they exaggerate. So what I learned that when they say something, I need to divide by 10, and then we'll know exactly where they are with the things that they say. And that, of course, that means that the person, how did they build a brand that he is a huge and exaggerated things. And it means that I am not able to fully trust what he says, because I know that he exaggerates everything. So we need to be very careful what we share and how we share, because sometimes we could start to believe that that's true, even though it's not. So I truly believe that it's better to say exactly what it is, be straightforward, and trying to really make it and to impress people. Last one, number 10 is legal ramifications. So it means it could be that if you lie, It could be in the court or anywhere. It could be some kind of legal ramifications as well. That means that we always need to understand that we need to always say truth, because at the end of the day, there is nothing will go bad when saying truth. I think that's it's easy sometimes to really lie, to live that day comfortably, but at the day is that when you do something hard today, that tomorrow will become easier. Yesterday I shared about it, is that when you say the truth every single day, and even though that truth could be hard at the moment, tomorrow will be easier. So as we cover today, that there's a lot of small things that we able to do today that really is, maybe it makes it our life easier today, but it will make our life a little bit more worse in the future. So let's make a choice. Make this day harder, that tomorrow could be easier. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.